Good morning, I'm Jenny Aitchison. I'm the Shadow Minister for Primary Industries in New South Wales, and I'm here with Labor's candidate for Upper Hunter, Jeff Drayden, and we're going to make an announcement today which is about the Agriculture Commissioner. So New South Wales needs an independent Agriculture Commissioner who can really step in and advocate for farmers and others in the agriculture sector when they are trying to deal with the diversity of government agencies. We need that position to be independent of government, to have a statutory basis and authority, and that's what we don't have now. So Labor is very happy to make this announcement, and we also want to see if we can get away from this part-time position that we've got now, an expansion of that role. So the role would be expanding into providing individual advocacy for farmers so that when they are faced with these issues they do have someone on their side, and also developing urgently an agricultural workforce plan to ensure that new entrants are able to get into the sector, but also to ensure that our farmers have the workers that they need. And we also need a export and trade plan for this industry. So that's that. Have we got some questions?
Or what would be the focus of the Agriculture Commissioner, the top 3 points?
So it would be in terms of providing the mechanism within government so that agriculture issues are properly considered in all decision making made by government, but also particularly in the planning system, that they work on that agriculture workforce plan and in the training and development of a workforce for this industry, and then in the trade and export plan, so that we've got a development plan for the $15 billion industry. There is
an Agriculture Commissioner at the moment. What are the deficiencies you see with that role?
Look, this role is not independent of government at all. It's a part-time person who's paid on a per day rate, maximum of 150 days a year. We need a strong voice for advocacy for farmers, and that's not what's been delivered by the Nationals under this government.
That's what New South Wales have at the moment compared to other states.
Look, I think we've got to talk about what's happening here in New South Wales, and the most important thing is that our agriculture industry doesn't have an independent, strong voice that can take on the various players that overlay the issues in agriculture. So I want to talk about what's happening here in our state, and I think we need to have an Agriculture Commissioner, and that's something that Jeff and I've heard in going around speaking to farmers. In fact, do you want to have a word? Sorry, I jumped into questions a bit quick there, Jeff.
That's right. It's pretty clear to us that the Nationals have abandoned farmers. There's an expectation, I guess, if you're a farmer, you'll vote Nats, and that's certainly what the Nationals have believed now for some 10 years. But it certainly isn't the case. They've abandoned them. Farmers, as Jenny said, that we've spoken to, need help. You know, the role of this commissioner will be, if you've got a power line that runs through your property, or a pipeline that someone wants to run through your property, or you want to do some development, this commissioner will be the contact for you to go to, so they can cut through all the work now you would have to do yourself. Will be some of the work this commissioner will perform. So they will do the investigative work. They will advocate on your behalf directly to the government, rather than you having to go and do all that yourself, and obviously spend time doing it, and certainly lots of dollars. That'll be the role of this commissioner. And farmers need that support. They, as I say, they've been abandoned by the Nationals now for a long time, and they're crying out for help.
Mm-hmm. The example you just cited, have you spoken to farmers who've taken that to the current Agriculture Commissioner and been dissatisfied with the outcome?
Well, they've tried to take the commissioner, but haven't got any answers. So they get referred to another department, who then refers and says, it's not my role. You can go to whether you can go to planning or go to whoever. So it appears to be this roundabout you get on and you just can't get off.
How many sort of different agencies can be involved in sort of a simple task like sort of sorting out a power pole or whatever?
Well, we hope in this case the commissioner will be able to help you with it. So effectively you'll present your case to the commissioner. The commissioner will then go out and they will deal with these agencies, and they'll cut through a lot of that red tape and make it easier for farmers then to be represented.
So you're left on your own dealing with multiple agencies as it stands currently?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Yeah, I can give an example of that. So in my electorate we've got some issues around flooding, so that involves local land services, local council, the EPA at times, the Hunter Water, and then you add on the energy agencies, so, and maybe Department of Planning if it's a state significant project. So that's a lot of people that as individual farmers got to actually talk to try and get their matter resolved, and that's not fair. Like, they should be able to get someone who can cut through that bureaucracy and red tape.
You'll be entering Parliament, well, you'll have a minority in Parliament if Jeff wins. How confident are you of getting this legislation that you'd have to pass through Parliament? Look,
the government's got to start backing in farmers in our state. They haven't been doing that. We've had farmers having to deal with these issues over the last 10 years. It's been promise after promise after promise and no action. And we are confident that we can get support with other parties, because we know that farmers, New South Wales farmers, Dairy Connect, a whole lot of those stakeholders in the industry are talking about this as a toothless tiger. They want an agriculture commissioner who can actually stand up and advocate for them.
Have you spoken to the Agriculture Minister about your concerns?
Yes, we raise these repeatedly through estimates. We even said to him, look, maybe the Agriculture Commissioner needs to have a phone number so farmers can actually contact him. And we're told, yeah, we didn't realise that wasn't on the website. Well, that was months ago and it's still not on the website.
And the call for a statutory body, what do you think his reception to that would be?
Look, that's up to the Minister. I can't speak for the government, but I can say that, if they're going to be fair income about supporting farmers, if they're going to stop breaking this promise that they made to farmers at the last election that they would stand up for farmers, then they have to look at this legislation that we'll be bringing to Parliament.
And how would this work with the Dairy Commissioner as well? Can you touch on that?
Yep, so the Dairy and Fresh Food Commissioner is going to look at those really important issues around competition and ensuring that farmers are paid a proper price. Now, it's all very well for the current Minister for Agriculture to flick that off to the ACCC, but that we know that New South Wales is one of 2 fresh states in Australia, and we need to have help for our dairy farmers urgently. And further than that, we don't have anyone who looks at other fresh foods, so the poultry industry, seafood, all sorts of other fresh food industries. A lot of them are loss leaders in the retail market. There's monopsony-like behaviour in that supply chain, which is putting pressure on farmers' prices, and that needs to be addressed. Anyone else?
Happy days.
Independent.
No?
Independent.
So were you say? Yep.
Importantly as well, the position needs to be independent of government. So it needs to be appointed and independent. So every time an election comes around, this issue, we're consistent with the approach, and this doesn't become an election issue. Farmers don't want to have to deal with it every couple of years in regard. But so it's really important that the position is independent of and operates completely independently of government.
I remember in his first press conference, David Lazell mentioned the Agriculture Commissioner sorting out land use conflicts when it comes to mining and agriculture. Is that something you see merit in?
Look, we think that the Agriculture Commissioner's got to be doing more than what he's doing at the moment. What he's doing now is essentially working on a report or a plan, which the department's been working on for 3 or 4 years, and that's all his focus is. We know that there's a diversity of land management issues that farmers have to work through, like I've outlined before, the water, the EPA, everything, and it's all part of the same package, and the Agriculture Commissioner would essentially have a role in that as well. But we've just got to make sure that we have someone there who's independent, who can actually speak for farmers.
Thank you.
Okay.
Cheers.